first thing that we're going to talk about is your strategy formulation. And so first of all, I want you to assess your current situation by performing an internal and an external audit. Now, we're really going to focus today more on the internal audit stuff, but what I want to share with you is it's great every 6 months or so to do what we call a SWOT analysis, where you're kind of analyzing the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and threats within your business, okay? So, but I want to actually go into today a tool, a very powerful tool that we use with our clients here at Full Pocket Coaching, and it's called our revenue projection sheet. And so I'm going to go ahead and hopefully I won't lose you when I share my screen. I'm going to show you guys, this is an example. This is just a total example that I put together. It's not based upon an actual client, but I want to show you guys because this is the worksheet that I use with my clients. So this isn't actually anybody's specific numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go into this revenue projection sheet. So if you guys can see this and you are okay, just go ahead and give me a thumbs up in the comments so that I know that we're working. Okay, good. Thank you, Tammy. Perfect. So let's go into this revenue projection sheet. I hope that this is working for you guys. Stop screen. Okay, I think it's sharing. Perfect. Okay, so Tammy, if it's working correctly, just go ahead and give me a private message or something just so that I know, and hopefully everybody can see what we're working with here. So this is a revenue projection sheet that we do with our clients, and the way that we would work this is first and foremost, I want you guys to be aware of your annual growth percentage year over year, and that is what I've got kind of indicated over here. And I've gone ahead and mapped out what the revenue goals, or excuse me, the total revenue by year. So in like, if we opened our business in 2017, we were at 100,000. And then in 2018, we grew by 11% to 111,000. In 2019, we grew by 17% to 130,000. Thank you, Tammy. So I want you guys to know that the Small Business Association says that average growth is 8% per year. Most of my clients are growing at 12 to 15%. And so, but 8% is really the average. So if you guys are doing more than 8% per year, congratulations, you're doing it the right way. So I want you to figure out what your average growth percentage is, and then you can plug that number in when you do an Excel spreadsheet. Now, this would have been our revenue from last year at 130,000, and I kind of just took that right from here. Now, if we were to grow at 8%, into year 2, it would put us at 140,000. Okay, hopefully this is making sense to everybody. Now, in order for me to get to 140,000 at the end of the year, we're going to break it into what we need to do as our revenue goals per month. So this month I need to do 11,700,000, okay? Now, if we work in the, what we do here at Full Pocket, we use what's called EOS, the Entrepreneurial Operating System, where we work quarterly. So, right, we go from our 10-year goal to our 3-year goal to our 1-year goal, and then we break it down into 90-day increments, and then we figure out what we need to do every 90 days. Human beings cannot think normally beyond 90 days. It's too much for us to process, especially during this pandemic, right? So we're going to break it down simply into what are the 3 to 5 things we need to be focused on during this next 90 days in order to drive revenue. Okay, so then when we scroll down, so one of my clients is a chiropractor. Another client I work with is an optometrist. We often work in health and fitness and wellness, but we also work with people outside of that too. So what we went ahead and did is we put some pretend numbers in here. So if we were to list out the services that we have, and in this instance, we have chiropractic exams, we have massage therapy, and we have functional fitness, okay? And so let's say that these are the actual revenue numbers that we have achieved. So 6,000 has happened through the end of June, and that's for the adjustments. $1,000 comes from massage therapy, and $1,000 comes from functional fitness rehab. I want you to open up your project management software, and I want you to see where you're making the most money. What services are making you, or product lines are making you the most money? So in this instance, what is making us the most money? Comment and let me know if you can see it. Where is the money? Right here, right? 75%. Now, if I told you that 75% of your income was coming from one line, one service, wouldn't you say it would be smart to focus your strategic goals on what's making you the most amount of money? Hopefully you're saying yes. So I want you to narrow your focus when you're doing the strategic planning. We don't want to be focused on 14 different things, which is usually the plight of the small business owner. Narrow the focus. 3 things. That's what I want you focused on for the next 90 days. Now, what we're going to do also is we're going to say, okay, what is the growth percentage goal that we want to put in place for ourselves for July? So we said, let's grow at 12%, and then these are the numbers that we'll be able to get to. Okay, great. So what does the average visit yield us when we bring somebody new through the door? $91, right? And you can see that number right here. So that means I need to get 8 new patients through the door in order to make that happen. So now that we know what that number is, then we can go further out and say, okay, in order to get 8, how many people do I need to talk to? Realistically, maybe 50 people. You know, if we're looking at, you know, a conversion rate of 8 divided by 50. So if we're converting, say, you know, that would be a 16% conversion rate. That would be a little bit of a higher conversion rate. But I want you guys to look at your numbers and start to do the planning for where you're going to focus your energy, focus your attention. And I want you focusing it based upon what makes you money. This is a smart way of doing business, okay?